Hello, my fellow property manager friends. Mark Cunningham at Grace Management with another video helping you build, grow, and protect your property management company. You know, communication, the communication between you and your owner client is essential for the relationship working, isn't it? And that communication really ebbs and flows. There are points in time during the owner life cycle where you really got to go all in. You got to communicate. And then there's other points in time where you say, well, gosh, we're kind of on autopilot now. Things are going smoothly. I don't want to bother my owner client. But there are times where you need to go hard. One of those times of going hard with communication is when the property is vacant. We can almost break that into two, like the notification of the vacancy, and as you communicate with them, getting it rent ready. But then what I want to talk about now is once you have it rent ready and it's advertised, how often are you communicating with that owner client about the vacancy? What's the status? Are people looking at it? Are they commenting on it? Are they saying that the paint needs redone, that it smells? What are they saying about that? And how often and when you communicate with the owner client? Well, let me offer you a couple suggestions as far as potential best practices on how to give vacancy updates to owners. So option number one, or I should say suggestion number one, is to set expectations. If you don't set expectations, then your owner client may call you every day. Have you ever had that? The owner client calls every day at 3 o'clock. What's happened with my vacancy? We got to get that thing rented. He's like, why is this guy calling me every day? Because you didn't set expectations. You need to inform them on the front end how often you will be informing them of the vacancy status. So for us, for example, we do it one time per week. We let them know, hey, every Thursday, you will get an email from us, and it will give you information on all the showings and the activity, all the rental activity we've had over the prior week. It'll come every Thursday. So don't call us on Wednesday asking for an update, because it'll come on Thursday. Don't call us asking for an update. We're going to do it one time per week. We tell them that on the front end so they're not mad when we don't call. Number three, this is what we do. You can do whatever you want. For us, we use an email template, and we give information on the number of inquiries and the number of showings. We're going to do it by email. We're not going to call them because I don't want to have a 10-minute conversation and get into, well, what kind of car were they driving? I mean, were they late to the appointment? How did they look? What do you think about them? I don't want to get into that. We're going to do an email update one time per week, and where we're going to give them information on the number of inquiries and the number of showings, because those are different. An inquiry may not result in a showing. So we want to make sure we separate those two important pieces of data when we give that to them. Number four, what else we're going to do is we're going to make recommendations for rent reductions or to not reduce the rent. Every week when we send that email, and I'm going to read it to you here, exactly what we say here. What we say in here is we're going to potentially make a recommendation to reduce the rent, or we're going to say, no, we do not need to reduce the rent right now, but we're going to give them our recommendations every single week. Now, before I read this to you, and you can feel free to copy this if you'd like it, let me thank the sponsor for this video here for this month, Latchel. Maintenance is one of the biggest problems we have in our business, isn't it? I mean, who takes the call at 3 a.m.? When the water heater goes out, because studies show water heaters only go out between 2 and 3 a.m. on Friday and Saturday nights. Do you take that call? Are you still taking that call? Oh, my friends, you need to get a life. Stop doing that. Latchel can take those calls for you. They can just do the emergency calls. They can take them during the business hours. They can take them all for you. They can be your maintenance go-to. Then they can just forward the call to you. They can handle the maintenance. They can send they can do a lot. Reach out to my friends at Latchel. Tell them to give you their demo, explain their suite of services, their options for you like they do for me. Tell them Mark sent you. Love, Jen, and the folks at Latchel. Okay, back to this here. Make recommendations. So let me now read to you. This is one of our templates here. Our vacancy update email. Hi, John. Assuming his name is John. I wanted to give you a status update regarding the level of activity we are receiving for your vacancy at 123 Main Street. At this time, we have received X number of inquiries and Y interior showings in the property. We have not yet had any rental applications submitted. We tell them that as well. Given the current time of the year and the amount of time the property has been advertised, we would like to see more activity than we have. Now, obviously, you're going to have some different templates, because maybe you say, well, no, Mark, I just had 25 showings. I don't need that. Then take that sentence out. In an effort to increase activity on the property, we would like to reduce the rental rate at this time. And we have 3 options. Option number 1, leave the rent unchanged and review it in another week. Option number 2, a small rent reduction to X, probably like $25 less, to give the property another week at this price before we look at reducing it further. Or option number 3, make a more significant rent reduction to Y to generate a more immediate effect. We recommend option, and then we're going to say in there 1, 2, or 3. We recommend option 3. Let me know what you prefer or if you have any questions. I like that. I like that because we're giving them data, we're giving them information, and we're also giving them recommendations. We're letting them decide if they want to really drop the rent. Now, some of our owner clients we don't send this to, and you know the ones you won't send it to, right? The ones that are just like, don't bother me, just do your job. We don't send them this. They don't want to hear anything from us. We'll tell them when it gets rented, if that. But if you have the clients that want the high touch, this can serve that. I really like what this does in there. By the way, this is just one of our many, many vacancies. If you need this and you've ever purchased our system manual packages, this is one of the 200 templates you get from us in those system manual packages. If you haven't looked into those, jump on our website, pmbuild.com, take a look at those system manual packages. Another best practice as it relates to your owner communication. I'll put a link here. Go back and watch video number 104. We titled it The 7 Most Important Words to Say to Your Owner Clients. The 7 most important words to say to your owner clients. You're saying, Mark, what are they? I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to go watch video number 104 and find out the 7 most important words that you say to your owner clients in your owner communications. My friends, I hope that's helpful. It's so important that during certain periods of time, especially when a property is vacant, your owner needs to hear from you. If you're not communicating with them, they don't know how hard you're working. They just think you're being lazy. So when a property is vacant, have regular communication. Let tenants and let owners know when to expect that. I would encourage it to be every single week. Until next week, my friends, if you've got questions, jump on our website, pmbuild.com. I wish you success.